get it out on Twitter. Hey Ryu,
Get it
can you do
out.
that for me?
Yeah.
Post it on our Twitter.
You want me to post up the YouTube link or the Twitch link?
The YouTube link. So
Okay.
we're on YouTube.
Like how the
Let's
thumbnail is of
go!
Miyamoto.
Yeah, it's the old one from last week. I have to change it afterwards.
Oh, Ryu, you might want to update your name.
Oh. Update my name.
To a dot. Okay, never mind.
Oh. How do I change that?
You go to the way that you renamed yourself to Reunion XSOS.
Oh,
dang. my
Yes,
other
so you
shit
click
is over there.
participants, and then you
okay.
click your name,
There we go.
or you right-click your name, something.
I was gonna put J-Playstar just to fuck with everyone.
Oh yeah, it has more.
Okay.
Okay, let me post this up on Twitter.
I mean, we were live, so we are live.
We're live.
We're live. All right. So I will start in 3, 2, 1. On the playlist today, we talk about our game of the year 2020 for Nintendo consoles, and if we have time, other things. But just that. So stay tuned to Metro Kingdom Radio, and welcome back to the Switch side. Welcome, everyone, to Metro Kingdom Radio. It is I, your host, the best by far. It's me, it's J-Playstar, and here with 4 of our loveliest co-hosts here tonight. First off, we have Pizza MC Chris.
Hello, everyone. It's our last pod for 2020, but for many of you, it would be the first pod for 2021. So hopefully there are no big diseases or fires or new news coming up that you know of that we don't yet.
No, this is going to be the last pod of 2020. Okay, Chris? This is going to get uploaded right now on YouTube, you know. And we got...
Streaming live.
We got Reunion.
You guys want to do a pod tomorrow? It's the 31st. We still got 1 day left. Let's go.
Last pod of 2020, Ryu.
God dang it.
Last one.
All right. Well, that's okay.
And we got Kyo.
Hey guys, Kiyonohashi here.
Whoop whoop. And last but certainly not the least, we have ROB the Rob.
The Rob. Hey everybody.
The Rob says.
Rob.
The Rob.
Good luck,
Rob.
Star Fox.
Good luck, Rob Fox. So yes, welcome everyone to Metro Kingdom Radio. Today, okay, so you're right. This is the last, our last podcast of the year for 2020. Next year, next week. I see you guys next year. Will be like our first podcast of 2021 of next year. So I do have a little announcement that I forgot to mention to you guys before. So now you guys get a candid too. It's just that, so with how YouTube has been with us, this will probably be our last live podcast on YouTube. So so starting in 2021, we will now be doing our live podcasts on Twitch at Metro Kingdom Radio 1 because I want to get that affiliate. And so we
But Johnny, I'm too calm for Twitch.
So we can get all the monies.
Oh yeah, big money.
Big monies.
Get that monies.
Get that Doug Bowser money.
Yeah, that money.
Yep.
Money. Yeah. So
It prints paper. Well, it prints money. Dang it. I messed it all up already.
Astra in the chat.
Prince paper.
Welcome, Astra. Welcome to the
Where's
podcast.
Astra? Oh, Astra's here.
So we are discussing our 2020 Nintendo Game of the Year. So the rules of this is that the game has to have been on a Nintendo console, released on a Nintendo console in 2020. And I'm looking at you, Ryu. And it has to be a new game.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh man.
Well, I don't know. There's some gray areas, right? Because yeah, it has to be a new game, so it can't be like a re-release. So I don't know if you guys want to say Pikmin 3 qualifies, like Pikmin 3 Deluxe. You know, like
Yeah,
if
I
it's
would say it
So, okay,
qualifies.
so here's my
I would say it
thought.
qualifies.
I have two lists because one of my lists has
Two lists.
re-released or definitive or special editions, which are technically new, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, because they have extra content, but I don't think it's really fair to include them, so I will have them in my two separate lists.
so
So my opinion is they all count,
mhm.
and I'm gonna add in that this is strictly because there's one big game that you can define Nintendo's year as, and I'm sure we'll all talk about that soon. But other than that,
Super Mario 3D All Stars.
yeah, it was Odyssey, right? It was a very scarce year for Nintendo.
Mhm.
Like I think it was not it was a great year because of that one game, but otherwise, very
Super Mario 3D All Stars.
To Asher in the chat she says or they say, I don't know. They say play Dragon Quest Builders 2. Asher, I don't think you get it. Last year, Ryu and I were all about that game. That was a nominee for Game of the Year for last year. Let me tell you.
No regrets. No regrets.
No regrets for us. We
No
love that
regrets.
game.
No.
Yeah. So okay.
not a lot of options this year.
I don't know. I feel
frankly.
like if it says definitive edition, deluxe, like if it's something like that, I think it qualifies. If you're, I don't know, but if you're gonna say something that was just like released on like the classics line where it's literally just the same exact game, I don't know if that should qualify. I don't know.
And the other thing is that a lot of games come out for the Switch a little bit later than other consoles or platforms. And if it came out in the Switch in 2020, I guess it should count.
Mm-hmm.
But if you didn't play it on the Switch and you played it on another console, does that count? Because your experience is not
It shouldn't.
Nintendo related.
It shouldn't count.
It shouldn't, because a lot of
No.
the times it's slightly different. So, and we have to clarify the rules here. But like the choices are so slim to me.
Yeah, it really is. I had to really think about what would even qualify for a top 5 for me, just because it's like, yeah, this is very slim pickings for this year. But I was able to think of one, and I'm hoping that all of you were able to as well. So
You guys are really gonna appreciate my top 5.
Oh yeah.
I already
Yeah.
know what his top 5 is.
I can't wait, Rob. I cannot wait.
I can guarantee you 3 of them is going to be from Super Mario 3D All Stars.
Way to ruin the surprise.
Oh, it wasn't even. It was supposed to be a surprise.
Might as well just go home.
So-
Wait, I am home.
So, I think we should go start from number 5 then, right? You guys want to go with our number 5s?
Mhm.
Okay. So let's get our number 5s out of the way. This one was kind of hard for me because I couldn't. For me, it was a tie between 2 of them, and one of them just recently released, and one came out before, and I talked about it for a little bit, but it's hard. I think I'm going to go with Spellbreak as my number 5, just because like I did enjoy that game a lot, even like in the short time that I did get to play it, because other games came out and I ended up switching over. But I did play that game quite a bit, and I think it's a really cool like take on the whole battle royale aspect. It's like everyone tries to say it's Fortnite with magic. So
This is on Switch. You played it on Switch?
yes, I mean I play a PC and
It's,
Switch,
Free to
but
play.
yeah, it's free to play. I
It's
played
free
it
to
on
play.
PC and Switch. Like when I don't have my computer with me and I'm somewhere else and I happen to have Wi-Fi, I booted up on my Switch Lite. I played some on there, and then I also, like, if I'm in bed and I'm just really lazy to go to my computer, I played it on my Switch. So the Switch version is pretty good. Like, obviously the PC one's going to be better, but the Switch version is pretty good for what it is. It runs well. And yeah, I mean, I could do pretty well on that. So I've won a few games with it on the Switch as well. So
Nice.
yeah, my just little honorable mention was Super Meat Boy Forever, just because I really enjoyed that one. But that game literally just came out like last week. So, all right, who wants to go next?
I'll go next. My number 5 is Paper Mario: The Origami King.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so well polished of a game, and it just has a Nintendo charm. It feels like one of the few Nintendo games, like one of the few like Nintendo games that came out this year. Um, it's I know it's not your favorite Paper Mario, Johnny. It's not Sticker Star, but it's
Might as well
the
be.
battle system is cool. The art style is great. Even if those giant Goombas didn't look right, and the music was well done too. The music was really good in that game. So yeah, it's a lot of this is solid all around, and I would say definitely a top 5 game for me for sure.
I'll add some commentary to that. I think that, I mean, it's somewhere on my top 5. I'll get to it later. But I think it is a good game. It's clearly not. I think sadly it didn't get enough attention. But as you said, it's a polished game. It's not buggy. So if you want something with bugs, there is a bug Paper Mario game that my friends will tell you about.
I think it's a great year for buggy games because there's the one you're talking about, and there's also Bug Snacks, and then the big budget one, Cyberpunk. So
yeah, that's a good
Different
one.
kind of bugs, though.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
I like that movie, A Bug's Life.
you mean Seven Samurai?
Me too.
Ants?
Oh God. Okay, we're moving on. You brought up ants.
Cookies?
All right, who wants to go next?
Ants is better than Bugs Life.
I
just
can
saying.
go. So building my list this year was really hard. I kind of had to take a look at the play hours that I put into the games to like really rank them, even if I maybe thought something was a little bit better. So I just kind of use that as a gauge for myself. So number 5, I put down Spiritfarer. It is a cozy game, of course, but the game was just so well thought out and very like emotional, and really fun. And you really kind of get to explore and find new things. And I thought that it really deserved a spot, especially with it being an indie game. I'm going to say right now that it was hard to pick between this and Hades, but I had put way more time into Spiritfarer than I have Hades so far. So I couldn't really justify putting that one in my top 5 pretty much at all, even though I really, really wanted to. But I just, I'm the cozy queen, so I had to go with my genre.
Yep. It's a personal list,
The Queen of Cozy has spoken, All right, Robert, Chris.
My number 5 is Super Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my number 5.
You don't want to talk about it at all? You're just gonna say it?
Well, I mean, it was my number 5 because it was probably my least liked of the 3D All-Stars games that we got the chance to experience this year.
I mean, yeah, when it comes to 3D Mario games, I'm sure it can't get worse than Sunshine.
I mean, there is Odyssey. So
Well, too bad Odyssey wasn't
little...
released this year.
Yeah, too bad it's not on the list, right?
Oh my God. So I mean, like, what did you like about Sunshine though? Like,
I like the whole idea of FLUDD. I just don't. Did they give us the control scheme? Kind of threw me off. Like, I don't know. It wasn't as enjoyable for me to play it as I remember. Like, I remember having a lot of fun playing it as a kid, but this time it just, I don't know, it just wasn't there.
Wait, Rob, is this your top 5 hated games of 2020?
Yeah, why is Sunshine in your top 5 games?
Probably because I only really have 5 games that I played this year that came straight from
that's
Nintendo.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be straight from Nintendo, but it has to be on the Switch.
To be fair, we forced him to play Odyssey this year. Like, it probably took up a lot of time for him. So
it did.
He had fun. He just won't admit it.
I mean, it was okay, but I don't.
Did you like how when you shot the water at your enemies, you didn't become your enemies? Did you like that part?
I thoroughly enjoyed that. They just died, and a coin came up. That was freaking awesome. Like, the attacks did what they were supposed to do.
Oh my gosh!
It took out the enemy.
All right, Chris.
I also chose 3D All Stars as a whole package for my number 5. But I actually only played through Sunshine. This was my first time playing through Sunshine.
So
So
then
it
it would
counts
be
for me. It's a
Sunshine.
new experience. Actually, I don't remember how far I got because I did own Sunshine as a kid. Maybe I was. A lot of games were hard when you were a kid, and I never completed it. But I think it deserves a top 5 spot, and I agree that I mean, there's just not enough games to make a top 5. So like a normal year, this wouldn't fall in a top 5 of anything. But I'm sad because after we all know that they merged the handheld and the console division, we expected much beefier output of video games on one console. But it hasn't manifested that way yet. So hopefully next year it gets a little crazier. Hopefully the year after that we see Metroid Prime 4 and F-Zero and a new Star Fox and all that. But for now, I mean, wow, it's so little that we got this year.
I mean, it's hard too because I think we're almost halfway through the life cycle of the Switch.
You're right. I mean, they keep saying though that
Are we really?
they say halfway in a positive light. Like there's still four more years to go. I don't know.
I mean, like, if there's one thing that we could be grateful for is that we got to, replay Sunshine and realize how flawed that game is without our nostalgia glasses. So.
I mean, I don't know, Ryu. It's starting to make me wonder because Sunshine is like on 2 of these people's top 5. So
well,
maybe it's not as flawed as we thought.
The bottom part of the 5.
It's still a top 5.
Okay, if Sunshine is carried by the other 2 games, though.
Okay, now I want to know what everyone's number 4 is.
Well, I can say honorable mention since you said an honorable mention.
Sure.
I would put Among Us in there. I put I put a lot of hours into it, but I did not play Among Us on Switch.
Yeah, but I didn't play it on Switch.
I felt like it'd be wrong to call it.
I played it on mobile.
Right, mobile or PC. Mobile has like 95% of the user base, but it's a great game, and like I think that deserves honorable mention because it's a Nintendo game now. But
yeah,
I just didn't play it there.
Yeah, if I had played it on the Switch, Among Us would definitely be in my top 5. Okay. Okay. Well, number 4. Who wants to go first for your number 4s?
My number 4. I'll go first. It's Super Mario 3D All Stars, but not Sunshine.
But not Sunshine.
And the thing is, like, Sunshine, we already talked about that. But one thing I really loved about it was just that we got Mario Galaxy in HD, which has aged so well. Because that game was made for HD. And when the Nintendo Wii came out, I think it was just the beginning of the HD era. So then Nintendo didn't want to take a risk with that. And the music, I forget how good the music is.
Oh,
the music is a live band orchestra, Gusty Garden Galaxy, Bowser's theme.
Rosalina's A Comet Observatory. Woo!
Yeah.
I love that song.
Although, like, I would say the only issue I have with Galaxy games is I wish the hub was more like bigger, more like 64's hub, which is like the perfect hub, Yeah, love Galaxy. And I guess, like, I hope we get Galaxy 2 because I think Galaxy 2 is better than Galaxy 1, in my opinion.
Yeah. I hope so too. I hope we get that too.
Okay, well, I can go next. My number 4, which I don't know if this might come as a shock to some of you, maybe not, but my number 4 is Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I thought I was considering putting it higher, but I don't know. Like, the games that are in my top 3, I think I
really meant to play that demo.
I loved a lot more than this one, than this game.
Same.
Yeah, and also because I haven't gotten too far in this game either, and I don't know why I just don't. I'm not as motivated to try to beat this as I thought I would be, and
Okay, so it's very different from the Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition in the sense that you did have a linear story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you went from like mission to mission to mission, and it was just like straight story. But with this one, the way that they have you do the upgrades is you have to beat certain like side missions in order to gain the materials to like then like upgrade your characters. And before in the definitive edition you could choose who you wanted to upgrade. In this one you specifically go to the icon of whatever hero that you're trying to upgrade, and then you pay the item costs and then you get that upgrade. So it's not as, I think, linear as Hyrule Warriors, so you can kind of not you can kind of take your time going through the story. So I mean, I guess you could blow through it if you wanted to, but like I'm the type of person wherever I get a new mission or a new objective, like I have to complete them all before I move to the next story.
Oh, yeah. So I mean, I don't. Is this game anywhere on your top 5?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. You're just not gonna say it until we get there. But
Yes.
yeah, so you know that I enjoy like what it is. I really want to beat the game so I can get the story, and I really want to know what happens. So I've actually like avoided any spoilers, which
Me too.
surprisingly I don't know how, but yeah. So you know it's number 4 for me. Eventually I'm gonna try to make sure I like beat this game.
Me too. It takes time.
Do it.
It does.
It takes time.
That it do.
So I guess I'll go next then. So my number 4, I put down Sakuna of Rice and Ruin.
Oh.
Ooh.
This game actually really surprised me. So I knew I held off buying it, and I was like, okay, I have such a backlog, I'm not ready for it. And then when I was like, okay, yeah, I want it, I couldn't find it anywhere. Like all physical copies gone. So I had to wait a good month-ish to even order a physical copy. So I finally got it and I started playing it, and I was like very pleasantly surprised. It's actually a platformer and
Oh, wow.
and like farming game kind of combined. So the way that they break the story up is you have to go on these like missions to collect like food items, you know, in order to build like your farm. And the farm, it's not open farming like a traditional Harvest Moon game. You have like a single plot. You start off with like 20 rice seeds, and the way the game is broken up, it's into 3 days per season. So you go through a year in about 12 game days, essentially. And each day you wake up and it's like on like day 1, you're like planting the rice. Day 2, you're pulling weeds. Day 3, you're pulling weeds. And then you go into summer. And so it actually takes you almost an entire year to grow one crop of rice. And then after that, it has all these little things that they're adding into the game. And it's really
like a whole
fun.
like count like a real year?
No. So like in Harvest Moon games, you have like 4 months, right? Which are the seasons. But you go through 30 days in each of those months. But this one is broken down. You only have 3 days per month that you actually like working. And so it's like in the morning you get up, you can like weed your rice, and then you go into the dungeon, which is your platformer style game. And the way that they do combat is really creative. And it's really fun. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I've been pleasantly surprised with this game, and I've learned a lot about how to grow rice, actually. So it's very educational as well.
Please tell me you're gonna wear a hat when you do it too.
Unfortunately, I don't have a rice hat.
Dang.
Like, I should get a rice hat just because.
Yeah, if this game had like the physical copies available, I probably would have already gotten it too. And it probably would be somewhere on my top 5. Although I did see someone selling it on Mercury, like without the box, and it made me not want to get it because I was like, oh, but I need the box.
I think they're back in stock now, so you could probably pick it up. I got mine from like Best Buy a while ago, so and I've had it for maybe 2 weeks now. So I put a lot of hours into it already.
For Johnny, you just buy like rice and grow it yourself.
I mean, I just cook some.
And then you can ruin it yourself as well.
Yeah, there you go. Use the you guys know about the finger measurement where you look at the
Hey,
first
it's a
line.
family pod.
Oh, sorry. The finger
water,
measurement. Yeah, the water. Yeah.
Yeah,
Water-
you don't go
water.
into how to cook the rice at all in the game. It's pure growing the rice.
You know, I don't trust that whole finger method sometimes. I have to make sure that the water
I
line
don't
is
either.
like the water line has to be a bit under my finger line, because I don't know, sometimes when it's at my finger line, that thing gets too soggy.
A 1-to-1 ratio on the rice. 1 cup of rice to 1 cup of water. That's it. That's all you need.
It's a placebo effect.
You're not
just to
doing
make you
it
feel
right,
comfortable.
Theo. You're not doing it right. You gotta use the finger. Uncle
Right,
Roger
top-
will
top
tell
5
you.
types of rice 2020.
My family has never done that. I'm just gonna say that right now.
This is
Metro Kingdom rice, yo.
Metro Kingdom rice for rice. Oh man, that's funny.
Rice-filled Kingdom Radio.
Oh man. All right. Who's next? It's Robert Chris.
My number 4 is
Mario
Super
Galaxy.
Mario 64.
Okay.
So I'm just going through all stars, are we?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a theme here. Yeah, you know.
Do you wanna
Um,
comment
tell.
on it? Do you wanna, like, yeah, what did you like about it? What makes this better than Odyssey?
Obviously, killing the
Um,
enemies.
Yeah,
can lose your
honestly,
hat.
the enemies actually die when you kill them, and when you lose your hat, you lose your hat until you go back and you go and you find it, and then it's like, hey, great, I got my hat again.
But like, this isn't the best version of Super Mario 64 because they took out backwards jumping. So, I mean, how do you feel about
I
that?
couldn't. I honestly didn't enjoy the game as much as I remember. I don't know if it's because I played it so much as a kid or what it was, but I just that's probably the least played Mario one from the list.
Well, I mean, how did you feel about how the camera has aged? I guess. Do you think it still holds up well, or do you think it's kind of like? Because I think it still works in my opinion.
I think Lakitu still
Yeah.
looks pretty. He's aged well.
Yeah, I think it works pretty well. It was never, I don't know, it wasn't an issue for me. I guess if you're new or if you're used to other cameras, it might have. But yeah, it didn't bother me too much.
It's,
Lakitu was the real MVP of that game, by the way.
who?
Lakitu.
Always chasing you.
It's a really interesting concept to think about. That when did that game come out? 96, 94,
Yeah.
94?
94.
96.
It's a launch game. Anyway,
Somewhere.
they got 3D camera pretty much working like to this day. It's like with the same type of mechanics. It's really impressive. Maybe it's not as perfect because it was button based before. It was a C up, down, left, right. But I mean, it still works pretty well, I think.
Well, and then a couple years later, they got lock-on targeting right with Zelda.
With Zelda, yeah.
Just incredible. I guess that's what happens when you have controller like specifically made for it too.
Mhm.
I mean, that definitely helps.
But yeah, I was June 96
June
was
1996.
when that came out.
Oh man, it doesn't sound like 2020 at all.
What are you talking about?
With you. Rob, if can I guess, is your number one like Game and Watch Super Mario Brothers?
Well, like,
Does that count?
no joke.
No, it
like,
shouldn't. But
we should legit have like 2 or 3 awesome new Mario games this year because of the Mario 35. But freaking Nintendo is like,
We're just gonna get Super Mario Maker 3.
Yeah, Super
yeah,
Mario
I
Maker
forgot.
3D, that'd be sick.
Zelda Maker next year. We're gonna hype too much. I can go next.
Oh, yeah,
My
well, you're the last one.
my number 4. My number 4 is Clubhouse Games, which came out
Oh
this year.
yeah.
Came out in June, I
Clubhouse
think.
Games.
Which is a follow-up to, I want to say it came out on the DS, the original DS, and it has countless like board games, card games, and little mini game things. But they're so fun. They're so fun, especially if you have a nice group of friends to play with. There's some online capabilities, and when you're local, you can download a demo, and it has a lot. You can basically play everything multiplayer local with the demo if somebody else has it. So I think you need somebody else to have it. Anyway, it's really fun. I still recommend it. It's just it rarely ever goes on sale, so sadly you have to pay $30 or $40 on it. But it's polished and it has like many hours of fun.
Oh man, that's a good one. That could have been my number 5 had I remembered that it existed. That's a pretty good choice.
Johnny.
If I had remembered it existed and I had friends to play it with, like,
Dude, I still want to play more.
I think if it came out in a different
Tanks.
year, it would have been a greater, more popular game.
we all need to get it and just play the tank one, right?
I'll play with you.
Chris? Yeah.
Play the
Makes it
tank
fun.
one.
Dude, sorry, or
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Ludo. They call it Ludo.
Ludo,
Play
yeah.
that
Whoa.
with you. So fun.
Ludo, like when you bump people off, you're like Ludo.
But Johnny, in order to prepare for multiplayer, you have to learn how to play Tetris Effect. It's just necessary. So you gotta play Tetris Effect with us. We've been trying to get Johnny to play Tetris Effect with us for so long. He's,
I'm
hard to
sorry.
convince.
I'm stranded on a raft lately, so
the guy with Game Pass doesn't want to play Game Pass games.
I don't have
Just
Game
whatever.
Pass. I canceled
Play the
it
games.
after that first month.
I think you can do the $1 for 3 months if you don't have an active subscription. FYI.
Yeah, I don't think it's like based off your IP address or anything, so I think you'll be okay.
Ugh, I have to use a different email. Okay. So my number 3 is one that I think Ryu and I might have it similar. Might have it higher. Maybe it might be the same number. But mine is Bug Fables and the Everlasting Spring. My number 3 game of the year. This game is everything that I wanted in a Paper Mario game except for Mario. No, look, Rhea, think about it. If they had just thrown Mario in this game but left all the characters and everything the same, I would have been like, yeah, this is kind of cool. I'm kind of done with this. I don't know why Mario's hanging out with a bunch of bugs, but it works. But yeah, this game is fun. I enjoy the writing. I like the characters. The gameplay is really cool. Has a really nice battle mechanic. It just brings me back to the nice olden days of like Paper Mario 1 and Paper Mario 64 and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Obviously, it's not as like big and crazy as those games because it is an indie studio that made it. So, if it was Nintendo back then, maybe it would be bigger, more grand. But for what it is, it's good for it, and like for its price too, it's like completely worth it in my opinion for the price, especially if you love like classic Paper Mario. And yeah, so it's my number 3 game of the year.
I have a question on that, and I don't want to take away anything from it, but did you end up completing it?
Nope.
Nope.
But
I mean, it's a pretty long game, but I definitely want to complete it this year for sure.
Like, is it because
you only got a couple hours?
I can guarantee. I can guarantee you everything on my top 5 were games that I did not complete. So I mean,
like it's a legit it's a legit criticism of games that sometimes they're too long. Like I really got frustrated with Smash Brothers World of Light.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that long, that's for sure.
No,
that well, long. But I'm saying like. But I don't hear people calling it out. Is it too long? Is Bug Fables like the story is not?
They say like it's 20 to 30 hours, right?
That's too long. That's too long.
That's short.
That's short for an RPG.
It's too long for an indie story-based game. I mean, especially if both of you loved it and didn't complete it. Maybe it's not. I haven't played it yet. So.
Well, I stopped playing it when Paper Mario came out, so I just switched to Paper Mario, and I didn't finish that either. But Arlo, Nintendo YouTuber Arlo, the amazing.
I love Arlo.
Amazing.
Muppet.
He loved it. He gave it a 7 out of 7.
7 out of 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves that game. Like he said, this is everything he wanted in a Paper Mario game, because he's like big about like classic Paper Mario. He's my spirit animal. My spirit monster. My spirit monster, yeah. When it comes to this, like, yeah. I mean, that's how he got really big, was because of his Paper Mario criticisms and everyone going, yeah, I agree with you.
So, I will say, though, I wish Bug Fables, they got rid of the experience points and just made you use, like, power-ups and stickers and all that. But that's just my thought, Johnny.
Sticker stars and cards.
Get out of there. Get out of here. I thought you were serious at first, and I was like, yeah?
You're saying 20 to 30 hours is not too long, but you can't make 1 hour to play Tetris with us?
Well, I didn't beat the game.
Come on, man. Just play Tetris.
Play Tetris.
You guys are asking me to commit a whole day to beat the story mode of Tetris Effect. I don't know if I can do that.
Like 2 hours, man.
You said it was a whole day. You said
I said we can beat it in a day. Like if we have
2 hours is less than a day, Johnny.
If it's 2 hours, I can do that. I can do 2 hours.
Okay, binding contract. This is on video, live streamed.
We'll live stream it.
Saw it here first.
Tetris Effect.
Do it.
All right. Well, someone else go with their number 3.
Yeah.
I can piggyback because it's related. Mine is Paper Mario. I didn't play Bug Fables. I do hear a lot of good things. I haven't heard really many bad things other than it's not a big game. It's not like polished or 3D or anything, but it's still good. Paper Mario it's Nintendo and Miyamoto in like both the best and the worst ways. Like they need to innovate. It's in their blood. He doesn't want to release another sequel. He said this many times. He doesn't want to release a sequel or go back to a franchise unless there's something new to it. And with this, I think the battle system turns a lot of people off. It's a puzzle every single time, but it's the same type of puzzle. For me, I end up liking it. And for those that can actually grow to like that type of thing, then the rest of the game is so good. The story, the characters, and a lot of Paper Mario, you play it for the characters, you play it for the charm and the jokes. It has all of that. It has it way more than the last like few iterations. So I think it's a great. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's a it's a great
That's
entry
you?
to Paper Mario. My wife is playing.
Oh, the angry typing.
But I mean, a lot of people didn't play it. That's a little bit sad. So I think it deserves a spot.
I will say Paper Mario definitely is the more funnier of the game, and like that's actually kind of important in the Paper Mario series, in my opinion, because I think that's the only thing Bug Fables couldn't really do right is make it as funny as Paper Mario. It's definitely it has its charm, but Paper Mario is like it's so funny. Like every Paper Mario game, maybe you can criticize like the battle system or whatever, but the writing is always like top notch.
Yeah, I wonder how much they invest in that. They must have really good teams because they have to localize this in so many, at least
Right.
Japanese to English. And I know, like, I've seen examples of the Japanese puns being different than the American or the English puns. And then there's also French. So yeah, the
French
writing
puns?
itself, and especially if you're a Nintendo fan or Mario Universe fan, the Mushroom Kingdom, there's so many like in jokes of Mushroom Kingdom enemies and characters coming back and jokes and puns about them. So if you love that, like I said this before, I feel so sad that I can't like continue that story because that universe is just so fun to be in.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of flaws. I get it. So I'm pretty sure I'm the only one, or I'm the only one with it this high on my list.
I guess
I'm not a hater though.
I'll go with my number
Like
3
some.
game. So this game is pretty unknown. It's called Gorilla Man's Continent 2: Monkey Boy's Adventure, and it's probably my favorite ape-based platformer 2D game from Rare, and I love it. It's it's the best platformer game I've ever played. So Johnny, what are your thoughts on this? Gorilla Man's Continent 2: Monkey Boy's Adventure.
Well, I'm a big fan of
Longest name.
I'm a big fan of Hattie Chimp.
And girlfriend monkey too. Yeah, I put this game in there, not realizing that it wasn't allowed.
Is this a real game?
No, this is Donkey Kong Country 2.
Conquest. It's a conquest of a game.
It's Donkey Kong Country 2: Diddy's Kong Quest.
And I was gonna just put the whole entire Donkey Kong Country trilogy on there, but I just couldn't find a replacement. I guess I could say that Super Mario 3D All Stars would take up 2 spots, so I would say Galaxy. Galaxy would be my number 3, and then Super Mario 64 would be my number 4. But man, I love the Donkey Kong Country games. Like it's so good.
It's fine. It's like when Disney brings something back out of the vault, like it counts as a release, kind of.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
I was also gonna put Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I was playing a lot of that, but I think it came out like last year, so it doesn't count. As much as I hate losing at that game, the story they put in that game is actually really well done. They put in every anime series of Yu-Gi-Oh! In that game, so you have like 7 campaign modes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Huh. Well, who has to give their number 3 left?
Me.
Okay.
Oh, I think I have to too.
So I picked The Last Campfire. I waited forever for that game to actually come out, and when it did, I was not disappointed. Well, I guess I was a little disappointed that it took me only 5 hours to beat the game, but it was so cute and so charming, and I just really like the mood that the game kind of put you in. It is a little bit more somber and like serious. But the world itself was, I think, really, really like vibrant and creative, and the puzzles that you had to kind of solve to get through the game were really fun because there's absolutely no combat. It is purely a puzzle game. And I really liked the storyline, and I thought it was a really sincere and well done game. And yeah.
That's the one that stealth dropped, right? Like it just came out
Yeah,
out of
it just
nowhere.
stealth dropped, and I had been following it for like months, and then I think somebody here was like, "Oh yeah, it's like dropping tomorrow." I'm like,
Yep.
What?
I surprised you on the pod, like live on the
yeah,
pod.
yeah, and so I literally downloaded it and just blew through the entire. I wish I had taken my time with it just a little bit more, but it was a great game. I loved it. I actually beat it, so I think that's the only game on my entire list that I actually beat.
Cool. All right. Rob and Chris. Number
My
3. Oh, Chris already gave
I
his
did
3.
my 3. I did my
Yeah.
3.
my number 3 is the Isle of Armor.
I was wondering if DLC should count. Okay, well, we'll count
Okay,
it.
I'll
Yeah.
give it to him.
Yeah,
I'll give it to him.
him. Yeah.
It's definitely
Yes.
better than my pick for Gorilla Man's Continent 2.
I googled that and I hate you for it. I was like, what is this game?
Like,
I've never heard of this.
Gorilla Man.
Gorilla Man's.
All right, Isle of Armor, huh? May
Yeah,
I ask if there's a reason why Crown Tundra is not on there, or is it going to be higher on this list?
Crown
I
Tundra's
haven't played
2019.
Crown Tundra, and I really only put maybe like 2 hours in the Isle of Armor. So
God, Crown Tundra is so much better.
Wait, was
really-
Crown Tundra 2019? No, that was 2020.
No,
They were
they're
both
both
2020.
this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were both 2020. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Isle of
Pokemon
Armor, huh?
itself was 2019.
Yes.
So what about Isle of Armor that you like so much that it's so high up?
The armor.
The Diglets, running around finding the Diglets. My favorite part.
I can't believe that like you hate Mario Odyssey, but you put you give Isle of Armor as your number 3, and then and your reasoning is because I like chasing the Diglets. What?
Hey man, they are hard to find, so
They
it's
are.
actually challenging to track them down.
Did you find them all, Rob?
I said I only really put 2 hours into the game. So
I don't know if
I
you're
got
a
to
pro
mustard.
Diglet guy.
I'm running around chasing after Diglets. I'm seeing what other stuff I find. I fight the one girl,
So that was
and
better
then I was done. I didn't play it again.
Oh, after you beat her, you were like, "I'm done," right?
So that was
Yeah.
better than the 3D Mario games. Chasing Diglets.
All but maybe one of 3D Mario games.
Yeah, you notice he didn't say one of them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, what do you guys think? Okay, well, since you played Rob, do you think those DLC? How much would those DLC contents affect like the reviews for Pokemon for that Pokemon game if it came out like with that content? Do you think it would change the scores heavily, or do you think the flaws are still there for the for Pokemon Sword and Shield?
Well, people are still gonna cry about graphics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There wasn't a graphic change, but I think you won't get so much grief about the
Brexit?
Pokédex.
Dexit.
Yeah.
I mean, I
As
think
much. Yeah.
the biggest
As
complaint at
much.
launch was Dexit, and
Mhm.
I think in general, like the story was considered long, and even after you finish the main story, there's still quite a lot like of side quests to do. I don't know, maybe not a lot, but I think that was satisfying. How many did they add? Like another 50 or another 100 Pokemon?
That was a lot. Like I want to say it's like another 100 plus, almost 200.
Another
Yeah, it was
100
100 just with Isle of Armor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I do wonder though if they started with all of that, it's still a step down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, even
There
the
wouldn't-
story was like, it didn't really make too much sense in my opinion.
Remember our review? Like I was just tired of being told what happened instead of me actually getting to play through what happened. Like, oh my god, this Gigantamax Pokemon's destroying everything. Don't worry, I am Leon. I got this.
I got it.
You just keep doing your gym quest. I'm like, well,
Keep
can I help?
training, bro.
Yeah.
Just keep training.
Just look over there. Just look over there. Don't even turn around.
Can I
you
help
need to go over that way.
Like, I just imagine, like, he tells you to just turn around, and then you just turn around, but you could still see he's just staring at you, like, he's not doing anything. Like,
I also don't even know how I got, like, how did you get the final Pokemon? Like, he just appears, and then you just, like, I guess I'll, like, fight him, and...
Yeah.
You know, the one that's, like, made of, like, bones or something? He's like a dragon.
Oh, Eternatus?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, where did
Yeah,
he
you
even
just-
come
I
from?
don't remember how
It's
that
at the end
happened
of
either.
the post game story. It's not like it's an extra 5 hours, maybe 6 hours. I don't know, but
Long.
you just get it at the end of it somehow.
Mm-hmm. All right. I guess we shall move on to our number twos, huh? The game of the year, number 2.
I think these are gonna be
I mean the last 2 I feel like is gonna be the same for all of us.
Same for
It's just-
everybody.
almost everybody.
they
Last
just-
one for sure.
There might be a switch around for some of us, but
There might be a Mario game in there for someone.
so I'll just go first. I'll crack the egg, okay? I'll get my bullet and hit it with the spoon on the top.
Oh. We went 4 years without referencing Balut. Come on, man.
Between you and I. So my number 2 game of the year would be Hades. This game is awesome. It's super fun. I still have yet to beat it. It is a roguelike that I enjoy playing, and I'm not the biggest fan of roguelikes. But
Are you saying roguelike or roguelite?
I don't know. I switched between the two.
Rogue-ish.
This rogue-ish game. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of the genre, like some of them I don't enjoy because I hate the fact that when I die it's like to start all the way again and this and that. But this one it's kind of cool because when you die, it's not in vain because people know that you die, and then they kind of
Actually, none of the
fact that you die.
roguelikes do that these days. There's always meta progression. But anyway, keep going.
Oh, they shouldn't have done it from the beginning. Because now I'm tainted. Now I think they all do this.
Bro, I feel like they've been doing that for a while, since like 2011, 2012.
Don't try to Paper Mario me.
Rogue Legacy? Have you ever played Rogue Legacy?
if they make a Paper Mario roguelike game, maybe I'll play it. Yeah, but Hades is super cool. I love the story. I think the characters are awesome. And yeah, just the gameplay is so fun. It trips me out that I have a different experience pretty much every time. Like I do another run through HE double hockey sticks. And so Yeah.
Thanks for all the kids out there listening and watching.
Double hockey sticks.
Hell, did you watch Soul?
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
I did.
I want to.
Really
So
good.
trippy.
That part made me
imaginative. I
laugh
loved
so
it.
much. He's like, "You mean HE double hockey sticks?" And then all the little kids are like, "Hell, hell, hell."
It kind of bummed me out once I found out who the voice actor for 22 was.
Tina
Or like
Fey.
ruined it for me a little bit. Yeah.
Why?
You're not a fan of Tina Fey?
It's cool.
I mean I am. Yeah, and no.
Wait, did she sponsor Mario Odyssey? Is that why?
I think so.
Okay, well, this isn't a Tina Fey hate pod, which
Yeah, this
probably
is an
wouldn't-
Amy Poehler love pod, so let's.
I wouldn't let you do it anyway.
Leslie,
'cause
nope.
I like Tina Fey. So.
Nope for president
both.
2024.
All right. Yeah. So, what about you guys? What are your number 2s?
I'll just get
Same.
mine out of the way. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's it. That's all the commentary. Same.
Okay.
Hades.
Mine, I just chose this Bug Fables. We already talked about it, but I think the reason why I chose it was because it's a new game that I played most. It's 2020 Nintendo, guys. I can't. Come on, guys. It really drew me in. Combat, I love interaction in combats. And also like the music is just like it's straight up plagiarism of Paper Mario. That's why I love it. Like it's not even like the fact that they pull that off legally is amazing.
It really
Someone should
does
get-
sound like Paper Mario.
Yeah, the battle theme is straight up Paper Mario. Like if someone switched the soundtracks, I would not even notice.
Yeah.
Or I think Miyamoto would even notice.
Well, I don't think he would because he doesn't like Paper Mario. At least the first ones. I shut down those stories right away. That's what he says. That's that guy. That's the same guy who shut down the story of Galaxy 2. He was like, "Nuh-uh, y'all ain't doing
No
this
story.
to me." He legit, like in an interview, he said that. He was like, "No, I made sure we didn't have a story for that one."
Man,
he-
how inconsequential is the Mario movie gonna be? Like, he's gonna have like
Yeah, if
some
he doesn't want a story, what
Peach
is
is gonna be
gonna
kidnapped
happen?
and he's gonna find her in the backyard or something. Like, He didn't want any story. Freaking Miyamoto.
It's
He's,
always
he's not gonna want a story. I'm
Still.
telling you.
So she's gonna be dead in the backyard or alive in the backyard? Like, what's going on there?
Bowser's castle is
you-
gonna be right next to Mario's
That was just super
Hut?
vague.
mushroom hut.
what happens is Mario is his video gamer's favorite game, but then his video gamer gets Sonic, and then they have to do a Toy Story together and find their way back into.
What if it's literally an animated version of the John Leguizamo Mario Brothers movie? Just like literally the same movie.
I'd
animated.
watch that 100.
I'm okay with that because the art
No.
style would be
I'm okay
accurate.
with that.
No.
I'd 100%
I will
be okay
wait
with
for it to get to where I absolutely do not have to pay for it.
That's what you've done for like all the other video game movies.
No, 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 no.
Sonic the
I
Hedgehog.
paid
saw Sonic.
Redbox. I paid for Sonic, but I'm absolutely not going to pay for an animated version of that movie. I will let you buy it and then hand it to me and say, here, you can watch it now.
I think what would be cool is if Mario and Yoshi team up in the main, like the A plot, and there's a B plot, and that's Daisy and Luigi, and they're just kind of goofing off and accidentally starting like,
A family?
Yes, sorry, yeah, that's exactly not accidentally saving the day. No.
Accidentally starting a
Yeah,
family.
wait. Peach wouldn't even be in that movie if that was the case, huh? Because she's not in
Why
there.
would it be
It's
accidental?
Daisy.
I don't understand.
It's Daisy in that movie, huh? Interesting. Hi,
That's
Daisy.
true.
Yeah,
That's true. That is
Yeah,
weird.
that's right. Daisy is in that movie. Yeah.
yeah. It's not Peach. All right. Well, cool. The number twos.
So my number 2 is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. I mean, we've talked about this one already, but I really love this game because you really get the history that you didn't get in Breath of the Wild, and you get more of the champions. And I think that was probably a lot of people's biggest
More of the
complaint
champions.
about Breath of the Wild was getting very little time with each of the champions. And so being able to play and control each of them is really fun. I unlocked a character I was not expecting. I think I had predicted him. But at the same time, I think I was still surprised once the character was locked. I was like, this is awesome. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the game. I
Tell
got
us after saying it like that.
Hestu,
Mhm.
the little
I
Korok
knew
guy
it.
with the maracas.
Ooh.
The only thing is he is so big, you can't see what you're fighting because you can't see over him. And so you're just kind of like hacking and slashing people in front of you, and you're like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna mow some people down. But
Are
you
the
can't really
maracas a weapon?
Yeah, the maracas are his weapons, and then like
Nice.
the Koroks also pop up too. So I'm really excited he showed up. I think I had predicted him, but I was like, there's no way they're gonna actually do it. But they did, and I'm so excited.
Nice.
Yeah. If I
Yeah.
heard that prediction, I would have called BS on it as well.
Yeah, and so I'm really excited that he actually made it in because he's really, really fun, and I love playing him. And then
sounds
of
like a blast,
course,
to be honest.
Urbosa is probably my favorite champion to play for sure. And then my overall favorite character is Impa. Because she is like straight up Naruto ninja. It's like all like the same moves. She has the Kuchiyoshi no Jutsu where she summons the giant toad. She is amazing in this game, and I absolutely love her. She's my favorite to play, hands down.
Question for you: you've played other Warriors games, including the last Hyrule Warriors. Where does this rank
Yes.
among other Warriors games?
Oof, that's really tough. So I think I still like Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition more. I like the variety of Link's weapons because in this game, he only really goes between like a one-handed sword, a two-handed sword, and like a spear, as far as I've gotten. But in Hyrule Warriors, you could play the horse. You could have the top from the desert. He has these insane like gauntlets with like a giant ball and chain that you can like swing around. He had the magic rod. So the variety and the types of weapons he has were so varied.
I wonder if they'll add more because they did for the last one, right? Like I think that's kind of part of their ideas for this.
Yeah, and I guess the part that I really liked about the definitive edition is you have so many different versions of Link that you can play, and it pulls it from all the different versions of the game too. So you kind of have like that whole giant nostalgia Zelda bomb in that one game. And I think I kind of like the way that it plays a little bit better. Age of Calamity, it's still, the frame rate is still kind of dicey, and I cannot play it on my TV. I have to play it on my handheld. Because I don't know if it's because my TV is too big and like the field of vision is too big, but it makes me kind of sick. If I play it on the handheld, it's fine. I have no problems. And the frame rate issues, I think, aren't as bad on the handheld version. So, but I do love the game. And I think one of the coolest parts about it is you get to see Hyrule pre-Calamity. And I just finished a battle where we went into the Akala Castle. You know, it's like that big castle that has the beautiful red tree on top of it. And so you physically get to go inside that castle and check it out. So it's really neat being able to see everything kind of pre-Calamity and how things used to be.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's one of the things I'm more excited for, you know, assuming I beat the game. I can get through it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You will. It'll take time, though. Gotta grind.
So everybody did their number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
pretty sure our number 1s are almost all the same.
Almost.
Almost.
My number 2 is Animal Crossing New Horizons.
That's not your number 1?
I thought that would be your number 1. What the heck? Okay. Well.
No, because I'm finding myself, like, if it's for time played at the beginning, then yeah, great. But I'm not finding myself, like, wanting to go back to it. Or having fun when I go back to it. So.
But if you still put in almost 200 hours in that first chunk, that's probably like 20 times more than you've played any other game this year.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go to our number 1s so we can help out Rob here. So my number 1 is Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Me too.
And Chris, that's our number 1 for 3 of ours, number 1s. I mean, we've talked like so much about this game already. You know, this game is well deserving of the number 1 spot for all of us here. It was very well deserving to win number 1
for 3 of you here
at the Game Awards, but for some reason it didn't win. So, you know, that's, you know, I don't know what happened there. But you know, yeah, Animal Crossing New Horizons, man, awesome game. You know, I feel like if, like what Keo was saying, if you've put in like hundreds of hours into this game, I don't see why it's not your number 1 game of the year. You know, I'm just saying to all the people out there who are not nominating it their number 1s, I'm not just saying Rob, you know, I'm still bitter about the Game Awards. I know you panel of judges. I'm pretty sure some of you were playing Animal Crossing. Don't pretend like you weren't, okay? Just because it came out in March. Whoa, hey, it's all the way back in March. The Last of Us came out more recent, so let's make that one the winner.
Wow.
We
can get into this. You want to get into this?
I mean, there is something to say for a game that does have a concise story that you can complete in 40 hours, right? Whereas Animal Crossing literally has no storyline and it has no end. You can play this game into infinity.
And I mean, unlike something called Best Picture, which I'm sure it has its own qualifications, for this they literally put as a qualification technical achievement, and there are a lot of flaws with Animal Crossing, unfortunately.
I know technically it was they did a lot of work into this game. It was a lot of technical prowess.
Technically everybody played this game.
You know, maybe they can release, like, Nintendo's very secretive about their creation process, but other companies aren't. Like Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima, they you can get a wealth of concept art and behind the scenes technical work and all of that. It's insane the amount of detail that goes into it, into like the overgrowth of Seattle in The Last of Us, which is so imaginative. Animal Crossing is amazing. We have so many. It says 365 hours on my copy. That's an hour per day of the entire year, but obviously condensed. So there's some days I spent a lot of time on it. But like, yeah, we spent a lot of time on it. But in terms of the actual qualifications for Game of the Year, I could fight you on it.
Well, I mean, you don't have to because you already won anyway. So there's no reason to argue with the little guy about this, because you know what I mean. Like, it won Game of the Year. Well, whoop-de-doo, you know. I'm just saying, you know, just Animal Crossing.
Nintendo just gotta make Animal Crossing Seattle edition.
Seattle Overgrowth Edition. Yeah.
I mean, my coffee shop
Well,
It's coming. It's coming, Rob. I'm telling you, 2021.
I should have came this year. I don't know why there's a
I
delay in
know.
there. It's
I
already
think
been
they had.
data mined.
I
We know
think
it's
they
in there.
had. I think they had planned every update already. By the time the game released, they had planned every update that was going to come out in 2020.
We're getting a
So,
coffee day. That's what.
yeah. So I think we're gonna get Brewster next year for sure.
We better.
Oh yeah, I
That's
completely
my
missed out on
2021
Toy Day.
prediction.
Oh, I didn't even do I didn't even play Toy Day either, Rob.
Well, what was
Look
gonna happen?
Look at Keel's face.
What? Offended. I am
Game of the
offended.
year. Didn't play Toy Day.
I will say, to your point, I think maybe the merits need to change, like how Time does Person of the Year. It could be most impactful.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a good person, I think some of them have been bad people, but like for game, maybe it should just be a little bit more broad, because Animal Crossing deserves to be a game of 2020, definitely in some regards.
Yeah, it's if you want to look at it through like fighting games, Street Fighter is never really the most technical fighting game ever. But it's always the most popular fighting game because it's the most impactful, the one that people enjoy the most. So
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryu. See, I like Ryu's way of thinking.
And
yeah, Mortal Kombat sucks.
like you'll rarely get Smash Brothers winning a best fighting game, right? Category, because it's not like seen as that so much as a party game, even though it's so deep and
Right, yeah.
like mainstream even. Both.
Wait, didn't it win best fighting game?
Maybe
Last
it
year?
has. I don't
Last
know.
year, didn't it?
I think it did, because I think that one was like such a big deal because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
But
think
I don't know,
there's
what was
much
the game?
other fighting
Street
games
Fighter
that
5
came
was
out
horrible,
too. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Street Fighter 5 was really bad
What
in the
else?
beginning.
Blaze Blue or something.
Mortal
Mortal
Kombat
Kombat.
11.
nice.
Oh, I think Mortal Kombat 11
So-
won best fighting game when it came out.
No, it won best fighting game this year. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. It was like the Ultimate Edition, and it won best fighting game this year. Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
Look at
Well,
your face.
sure.
Look at Ryu's face. He's
Wait, what's Ryu's number one?
yeah, Ryu.
Oh.
We already know what it is. It's just
What's a Gorilla Man 1?
Gorilla Man's Continent Returns Tropical Freeze. No, I think it's
Funky mode.
yeah.
Or
It's
the
Hades.
Jazzy mode.
it's Hades, right? It has to
Hades,
be
yeah.
Hades. Yeah.
I mean, I binged this game the most, I would say, out of all the games that came out this year. And it's really accessible. I think a lot of people who are kind of don't want to play roguelike games because there might be like a difficulty curve, or they might find it intimidating. But this game is really easy to pick up, and it reminds me of Celeste because it embraces dying. Like if you die, they kind of joke about it, and it's kind of funny. And you actually want to talk to people. Like there's like one of the first mini bosses, I forget her name, but you talk to her after you lose to her, or you talk to her after you fight her, and she'd be like, you got lucky, or oh, yeah, whoop your butt, huh? And then obviously learning new weapons is actually really easy. And I feel like you just the skills that you gain, not just from your statistics, but also like your reactions and how to use reflect and different paths that you go to. It all like adds up both statistically and like instinctively.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, that because roguelikes can be very intimidating for a lot of people. They drop you in this world and there's just so much around you. There's so many different mechanics, so many different currencies, and all these things that you have to learn. But here they kind of hide that. They hide it with a wrapper of an actual story-based game. And so it seems like you're playing like a scripted story with like actually manually handcrafted levels. But it is all roguelike, and it is actually all procedural, which is insane.
Yeah,
but
I don't think
the
it's
way they
even-
introduce all the mechanics makes it feel like a really natural progression. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly right. Because I don't even think it's it doesn't. I don't even think it's less. I don't even think it's easier than other roguelike games. I just think the way they packaged it made it so much less.
Yeah.
It's just so much more accessible. Because I've played other roguelike games, and the beginning is kind of rough, but you die a lot, and that's just how it is in the beginning, and that's how it was as Hades. But
Yeah.
the difference is that I enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
I want to go play more of this game.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm been kind of like, because I'm like in the middle of a playthrough, but then I don't want to go back to it because I can't remember what power ups and everything I have, and so I know when I go back to it, I'm probably gonna die in the next room.
Fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, and just go back to there again. I'm like, just gonna hear like my dad just talk crap about me, like, oh, look who it is.
And
Oh,
the Cerberus, you get to pet the dog.
somebody didn't make it out of hell. Oh, poor kid.
Oh, you're back here quickly.
Oh, look at that. Oh, back so soon, eh? But yeah, so I mean, I feel like Hades is well deserving of like the #1 spot, at least
You
on
could pet
Ruby's list.
the dog, but you can only pet one of his heads.
Yeah, that's
Three-headed
kind of messed
dog.
up. Like, I would rather not pet the dog at that point.
Kind of effed up for the
I
other
can't
two.
pay attention to all three.
All right. Well, I think that is.
Wait,
does-
I
oh.
have to give my special mentions.
Oh,
Also,
okay.
Rob didn't do his #1 yet.
Oh wait, that's right.
Super Mario.
Super Galaxy?
It's Galaxy.
There
is
you
it not?
go. They got it. Super
All right.
Mario Galaxy.
All right, go ahead, Kyo.
Definitely the
Okay.
game that I had the most fun with.
Did you play Galaxy prior, like before on the Wii? Originally?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it was just as enjoyable this time. But actually, I didn't get to mention this before. I wanted to say it, but I felt that the colors. I don't know if it was my TV, but I felt that the colors and the brightness when it was on the Wii was just a bit too much. But it did feel a lot better on watching it now, or like playing the game now.
The Wii was only 480, so 480p, right?
Yeah.
So maybe-
480i if you had the component cable or the
Yeah,
Yeah.
HD
right. It was
cables,
compatible with P, but maybe because of the higher resolution, it wasn't it didn't appear as, I don't know, saturated. Maybe.
You know, it was
They
pretty
might have
bright.
turned. They might have
Now
turned
that I
down
think
the
about it.
saturation. They might have turned it down for the HD release because they were like, because they probably made the saturation higher because of the lower resolution on the Wii.
Yeah.
They do that. So
A lot of Wii games are kind of like that now that I think about it. I think No More Heroes kind of has something similar to that too.
mhm.
It is a really colorful game, though, for something that takes place in space. It's like the worlds are maybe the most colorful out of all Mario games.
Mhm.
Think if like they made it like realistic, like there's no music at all in space, and there's like no sound effects, barely any color.
That if Super Mario was
oxygen.
directed by
No
Christopher Nolan, if
Yeah, right.
Super Mario what is the Illumination movie was made by Christopher Nolan, then that's what we'd get.
Super Interstellar Mario Brothers.
Oh my god, Interstellar Mario Galaxy.
Interstellar, Galaxy,
Mario!
time travel, and
Mario, you always make this jump. It's impossible. It's not possible, Luigi. It's necessary. Yeah. Sure, Johnny can do it better.
damn,
If I knew what you were actually saying, I would do it for you.
it's like he wrote the script already.
Have you
I
seen
know.
the Interstellar?
Yeah, I have. But it's been a while. Like I don't remember the quotes
Oh
anymore.
wow, you really did do a pretty good quote of that.
Interstellar's
now I
so
think
good.
about it.
No, it's not impossible. It's necessary.
All right. All right, Kyo.
So
Honorable
okay,
mentions.
so my honorable mentions are going to be Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. I know the game is old, but it was released for the Switch this year with kind of like a little end piece at the end, which I actually haven't gotten to yet. But I put almost 80 hours into that game. It's a really great JRPG, great characters, and it's just really fun. And I had a really fun time just exploring that world and everything in it. And I think that definitely deserves to be in the top 5.
Mhm.
And then of course I have to add Rune Factory for a special. I never actually played this game on the DS. I think I only played Rune Factory 1 and 2. So to be able to go back and play 4 was really fun. And they added like a newlywed mode to it as well. So that's kind of new to this version. But yeah, I love myself some cozy games, and this is great because it's kind of like an RPG and a cozy game put together because you have farming, you have combat, so you get a little bit of A, a little bit of B. Yeah, and it's just really fun and charming, and it was a really great game. So if I could do yes, technically this was released in 2020. These two would have also made my top 5. But I felt that games that were released first time around in 2020 should take priority on this list. So
Fair. That's fair.
it's my honorable mentions.
Well, can I ask you something? If you were here to break the rules like Ryu and Rob did, would you would you where would you put Xenoblade Chronicles in your
Oof,
list?
I think they would have to go in my number 2 spot.
Oh,
Ooh.
That's how much I
Ooh.
absolutely loved that game. It was really, really good.
yeah.
Really good. And I love Shulk. He is the best boy. And he's, one of my mains in Smash as well. So
I'm really
Top
feeling
line.
I
it.
love him so much. And then Rune Factory 4.
Backslash.
That one would probably go closer to the bottom. Probably my number 5.
Okay.
I was gonna say is Shulk top 5 topless male Nintendo characters.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, hey,
I always
Top
make sure-
five topless in
Different
general.
list.
It's actually a long list, isn't it?
It's a different list.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
I always
Mario
make
is in
sure
there.
he's in his bathing suit when I play Smash. Because it's summertime, right?
Hey, how come we don't have topless Mario in Smash? That's what we need.
Nobody wants topless Mario.
They
in
don't have
Smash.
he doesn't have nipples when he's topless. I don't know if you guys noticed that. It's kind of upsetting.
Wait,
Does
didn't
he
he have
not?
nip? Wait, I
I
thought
thought
he
he
had
does.
in Mario Odyssey.
All right.
He does.
I'm gonna look.
I don't
Wait.
care.
No, there's a version
The-
there's a version of Mario where he doesn't have nipples, and I think and there was that controversy whether or not Mario has nipples, just because of maybe
Hold
he
on.
does.
Mario-
Maybe he does have in that one, and he doesn't have the other one.
Wow.
He does. He
Honorable-
does. He does. He does.
Aha. Honorable mentions, Clubhouse 51 games,
I
that
think
game's cool.
it's such a good game. I have a couple that weren't mentioned by anyone.
Okay. Honorable mentions.
Super Mario 35, freaking awesome.
I thought
Awesome.
about
Oh
that.
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Awesome free game. For those of you who haven't played it, just try it out. It's basically Super Mario Brothers but multiplayer version and ridiculous. And they made it easier because the controls are a little bit tighter, and you can maneuver in the air, you can all that stuff. So try that out, really good. And the other Mario game that was released, Mario Kart Live Super Circuit. What is it called? Not Super
I
Circuit.
thought
Home
about
Circuit.
that home. Yeah, I thought about that
Yeah.
too. I was like, would that qualify Mario Kart Live? I mean,
Why
yes
wouldn't
and
it?
no.
I mean,
qualify.
I would say it qualifies, but no, just because it's not that like.
It's
I
more
think
of
it's
a
a
toy
game.
than it is a game.
Can I just say my game of the year from last year? If you guys, any listeners, haven't gotten it, Sayonara Wild Hearts. It's still
Honorable
worth it.
2019.
Honorable mention.
Yeah, no, because I felt like I was like, should I have picked that as my game of the year last year? And then now I look back, I'm like, I made a good choice.
Or how about not an honorable mention, but top game of that didn't come out in 2019 or in 2020 that you did play in 2020.
Oh, besides, I mean, obviously I played Smash, but
I don't know. I feel like I have something on there, but I don't remember what it would be.
I mean, you can look at your hours played
yeah, let me see
Oh,
here.
my Switch
by
is too
total
far
play
away.
time.
Well, for me, I want to say an honorable mention. It's actually something that I've never once talked about on the pod, and I always wanted to, but then I would always forget, and then I just stopped playing the game completely.
You've mentioned Genshin Impact before.
Well, when we do our non-Nintendo game of the year, let me tell you. But this game was released on This game did release on the Nintendo Switch. It's an exclusive to the Switch, and it was a game that I played a few times during my my stint with COVID, because that's what we call it, stints now. And it's called a little game called.
Oh, just wait for that second stint, then I guess, huh?
That's funny. That was a good one, Rob. but it's a little game called Ninjala. I actually played Ninjala when I had COVID, just because I was like, it was so quick little bursts of things, and I was like, this game's kind of fun. And then I kind of stopped. I started hating the game when I was tricked into buying the story mode, and I was like, yeah, the story mode sucks. Did you play Ninjala too?
No, but I mean, I don't get tricked into buying games.
Yeah, but the game was actually pretty fun. It's a free to play game, so everyone could buy it. It's a 8-player online battle game. You fight against each other. You have different weapons you can choose from, and so it changes your play style slightly. But everyone pretty much plays exactly the same. It's not that much different, and Yeah, so it was cool, but then I don't know. I kind of got bored of it really quickly, but I wanted to always talk about it on the pod, and I never got a chance to.
Was that made by Sega?
No, but they did have like a collaboration with Sonic.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I thought it was made by the Sonic team actually, but no, I guess not.
yeah. So Ninjala, it's a thing. I mean, I don't know if you guys if you like platformers. I'm just saying, Super Meat Boy Forever is pretty cool. It's an auto run game, which is really weird. I didn't expect that because the first one wasn't like that, but this one is. And
sorry, go ahead.
and then the very first world when you start it plays like a really cool homage to Super Mario RPG, and I was like, what, this is so cool.
What?
Yeah, you should look,
Really?
you just look it up, just like Super Meat Boy, like Super Mario RPG like reference, and it's like in the very beginning of the game. It's so cool.
I was gonna say I played Shantae and the Pirate's Curse this year. That's actually like the Shantae games are always underrated. So
Yeah.
if you guys like platformers, like kind of like a beat 'em up, like I guess you could say like Aladdin. I guess I don't know. I don't. It kind of reminds me of Aladdin. Like I guess
Yeah,
Sort
I
of,
get it.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a very different, like when you think platform, you think like Nintendo, like Mario or something, but it's very different, and it's hard to describe why.
Yeah, but it's a way forward game, so there's always
Oh,
like
they make good stuff too. I love
Yeah.
Way Forward.
Like River City Girls.
or Bakugan.
Yeah.
Bakugan.
Out of here.
Oh, honorable mention.
Bakugan.
Jesus. Okay.
Would you guys? How would you guys rate 2020 Nintendo?
Better than 2020.
Better than 2020 Nintendo.
6.9 out of
Nice.
10. Too much nice. No, I feel like not knowing anything about Metroid Prime 4 really upset me though. Like, I don't know when's the last time they gave us update on the info. I think maybe it was like early in the year. But
Except to tell us to don't
basically,
expect anything from
in
us.
2019, they told us they were completely redoing the game from the ground up. So really, it's been like 18 months since
Well, that was-
E3 2019.
No, wasn't
Right?
that January 2019 that they said that?
That they said that, yeah.
So it's been 2 years now.
Mm.
Man,
I
has it
guess
been that
so.
long?
Yeah, but maybe they just don't want to put their foot in the mouth. Like I feel like
That
they
just
kind of
hurts,
burn
man.
they burn
They sh-
themselves, right?
They shouldn't say anything else until they're ready to. Like
Yeah.
we're seeing it now. Huge. We haven't talked about it, but Cyberpunk. It's such a crazy
Garbage.
fiasco that's going on, and I won't get into it. But yeah, people are okay with delaying games way more than releasing a bad game.
Oh yeah, that's fine with that. I just wish I saw like a teaser or something, or like even if
Like a
even just
logo.
like an announcement, like, hey, guess what? This game's still in development, and that would.
I think actually didn't they mention something? But not like
maybe it was a
official.
year
Like
ago.
maybe like Reggie said, "Oh, we have this game," and he might
Reggie?
have said like off the cuff, like something about Metroid still in the works. I don't know.
I think it might have been like a job posting from Retro. It could have been that.
Yeah, they're definitely still hiring for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's something that Miyamoto said. It was during the Nintendo 64 launch, I guess, because they had to delay it. And so the quote that he's kind of famous for was he says, "A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad." So like that's something that Miyamoto said on like the consequences of delaying
Cyberpunk.
games.
I love that quote.
a very
Although
good
obviously
quote, and-
delayed game is not always eventually good.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Nintendo are known to delay their games every now and then, but then when the game comes out, it usually is good. So
It usually is good.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's really hard to kind of gauge how 2021's like. I feel like Animal Crossing was so strong. Like I know we haven't made it through the next decade, but that is going to be my pick for game of the decade. I think I still have 9 more years for more games to come out, but I feel like Animal Crossing was so strong, but all the rest of the other offerings were not stellar.
It's like it's like someone did something so good at the beginning of the year that it just like they coasted on it for the rest of the year, and you can't hate them for it.
Yeah.
But do they still deserve an A+? I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, because like it's kind of telling that my top 5 games of the year is the majority are not Nintendo games. You know, the majority are
Yeah.
third parties. So
What the
Yeah.
hell,
indies
dude?
actually, when I look at it, are all indies too. So you know, it's like it's kind of telling that you know, like they really did. They're like Animal Crossing, and we coast.
We do have a handful of things that are announced but without dates at this point.
Hmm.
We have Breath of the Wild 2, we have Metroid Prime 4, new Pokemon Snap, which I think is 2021. I would guess it's coming in the next 6 months actually. But I don't like I still don't have high hopes for 2021. Like I
Oh.
don't think we're gonna get awesome stuff. Maybe one big game, but
Well,
the output is so much slower than we were promised.
Well, we can talk about 2021
Next
in
time?
next week's pod. Yeah, we can
Next
do our
week,
we can do our
predictions.
2021 predictions for next week. But yeah,
Next year.
but like I mean, 2020 in
Well,
review, it's hard to give like a number, right? On like how
hopefully
we rate it.
by this time next week we'll either have had a direct or an announcement of a direct, because January we need those
We
early
usually
January
do.
directs. Yeah.
Hmm. I mean, like looking back at 2020, we've even though we kind of like died with the whole like concept of directs, like we don't really have them. We've been getting little ones throughout the whole year, which was kind of cool. But at the same time, it's like I would have just rather have like the big, meaty, chunky directs, you know.
Chris
And-
hates it.
Yeah, I know Chris hates it,
I
but
hated one in particular. My God, that wasn't a direct. That was a steaming pile of.
That was nauseating, wasn't it? I remember feeling sick afterwards. Like, was there frame rate
it was
issues?
a
with
live
that one?
stream of 3 games, and I wasn't interested in any of them. Oh my God, that's way more important than that direct.
like
Can you turn it on?
I got this Kirby, like I won this in the Toreba Claw Machine app on your phone, and so it's like a Kirby
Whoa.
like little helicopter. If I turn it on, he's gonna go crazy, and I already know
Just turn it on and hold on to it.
Oh my God, I don't know why I'm doing this right now.
How many months did it take you to win something from Toraiba?
It's gonna start flying away. Like he
Let
just
it fly.
he kind of just hovers, but then I can't control it. Like he's gonna like destroy my screen. I
Okay,
just
turn it
know
off. Turn. I'm scared for humanity.
I'm not. Just let it go. There you
Whoa.
go.
Oh, nice.
Na, 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 na.
Playstar in Dreamland. How many months did it take you to win something in Toraiba, or whatever it's called?
Oh, I've won tons. Yeah, I don't think you understand.
Maybe months is not the right number that or thing I should be asking, but I'll refrain.
Well, maybe one day I'll upload all my like videos of me winning, and because you can actually download the videos of your wins, and so maybe I'll show them off to you guys one day, because I do have them.
I think 2020, one of the
So-
most disappointing parts was like, looking back, 35th Mario anniversary was kind of lame. Like,
It was horrible. Could have been so much better.
Like looking back, like it just got worse and worse. And Sunshine not being good definitely didn't help.
I liked it.
But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like I almost forgot that it happened. Actually,
2020.
yeah, that too. No, the Mario 35th anniversary is just like.
Well, as of March 31st, 2021, it will have never happened.
Hey, did you see the reason why they said that was why Doug Bowser said
It was
that?
a
Like
vague, like there was no reason. It was a non-reason, right?
he said it was a celebration. That's why. That's what the reason was. So Doug Bowser did his best Dave Chappelle, Rick
All right,
James
cool in the
impression
gang.
when like they asked, "Hey, why is it only up until March?" It's a celebration, bitches. That's basically what happened. That's what happened.
No good. No good. No good. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I want to say we should try to give 2020 a number, but it's really hard. I don't want to have to be that person to give it like a rating, because Animal Crossing was just so darn good that I don't want to taint it by giving
But
it a
you-
low number.
You like average it out, right? Like Animal Crossing makes it a 2020 a 10. Everything else makes it like a 4 or 5. So then you give it like a
6.
7 point something.
Yeah. See, I was thinking 7.5. Like I can't. It's just
I was
because it
gonna
really
say
isn't much.
7.5.
Yeah, I almost feel like that's what we're going with, but I just hate that because Animal Crossing was so damn good,
Right?
right, Kitty?
It carried the year. It
Right.
for sure carried it.
It absolutely carried the year.
I honestly felt like there was nothing for me this year besides like Hades. I'd say.
Hades.
Yeah.
Bug Fables.
And Bug Fables, yeah. Like, I mean, in terms of like big budget games, I didn't really feel like. Well, I mean, Nintendo didn't really release that much, but they
Do,
got Animal Crossing.
do you guys have a Nintendo like really quick top number one game, or does not really?
Shout outs to
Impact.
Tetris Effect too. Shout outs to that game. Like,
I mean, you already know what mine's going to be, so I feel like that
Genshin
could be
Impact, for
safe for
sure.
like a different pod.
All right, we can talk about it later. No worries.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So I think that might wrap it up for us here tonight here at Metro Kingdom Radio. So thank you everyone for listening to us, and allow us to say our goodbyes. Rob,
Bye-bye.
Keo,
We'll see you next time.
Ryu,
Gorilla Kong Country Continent.
and Chris.
See you next year.
And
Gorilla
yeah.
Continent.
For me, your host, J-Playstar. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Metro King Radio. Tweet at us. We can answer your questions whenever we do live streams. So as of now, this is our last live stream on YouTube. I mean, maybe we might come back, but I think we're gonna pretty much just be
live
at
stream of
Twitch.
2020.
Yeah, last live stream of 2020 for sure. But we're gonna be doing Twitch at Metro Kingdom Radio 1, the number 1. Yeah, so be sure to download our podcasts wherever you download podcasts, like Google, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, Animal Crossing Pocket Cast, and yeah, subscribe to us here on YouTube, because like even though we're not going to be live streaming here, all of our like live streams from
Pods.
Twitch will be uploaded here. And if and same with our live reactions, maybe we'll cut them out. Maybe we'll get complaints about talking about video buffering, and yeah.
I'm not
so
talking about the thing. Why are you guys making jokes instead of talking about the game?
Whoa.
I think they did. I think they made the hating comment because it didn't look like we liked it, and then they deleted it when they realized that we liked it at the end.
Oh, that totally could be it too. Because I was thinking that too. I was like, because I don't understand. If you watch the full video, you could totally tell we loved Crimson Desert.
Oh, was it about Crimson Desert?
Yeah, it was about Crimson Desert. We got so many negative comments about that, saying like we don't like the game, like we're just
Because there was
making
2
fun of
trailers.
it. We're trying too hard to be funny, and I was just like, hey, did you not watch the full video? Because we like the game.
Because the first video was like a graphical showcase, and it didn't really show much, and then the second video was like actual gameplay trailer.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah. Thank you everyone for listening to us, and until next time, we shall catch yous on the Switch side.